We'd get
We
sued.
are now streaming, so it's invented theme music, please.
It sounded a little bit.
Say anything about the content of this show.
No, because obviously in a show about Carly Rae Jepsen songs, you would obviously have theme music that was Carly Rae Jepsen songs, but we can't do that for rights reasons.
Yes.
Carly Rae Jepsen, she's from Canada. She has nice bangs.
Thank you, Justin. Team player.
She sings lots of songs.
And now dubstep remix, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Okay.
This is really bad.
A little less
know how to make
right on us,
dubstep.
and then I'm putting an end to this.
Put an end to this.
Put an end to
Put an
this.
end to this.
Please.
She's got a gun.
Please end it.
Okay.
By my silence.
Everything looks like it's working all right. So, hi to anyone
Hello.
who's watching.
Hello.
Sorry, that was just us,
Tony.
making sure that we're being super professional and getting all our things in order, and Justin inventing a theme tune for tonight's stream
this,
of
it is too
Boy
late.
Problems. The Carly Rae Jepsen inspired
I am the problem
heist
boy.
hack of Lasers and Phoenix. How about, just to start off, we all introduce ourselves and say hi and who we are, and also pronouns would be grand.
Yeah.
So I'm Chloe. I'm gonna be the games master for this evening's stream, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hello, I am Justin. I am a player this evening, and my pronouns are he, him.
I am Tom. I'm also playing this evening. I am he, him.
I am Fiona. I am also another player, surprisingly enough, and I am she, her.
I'm Kirsty, I'm a player, and I am she, her. I hate myself.
Oh, it's that
as
kind
well.
of game.
Shall I? There's
Yeah,
no...
there's
Get
no
out,
go.
get out.
There's a drop there.
Yeah.
Get out.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Close the window first. Okay.
So the game that we are playing tonight is, as mentioned, it's a hack of Lasers and Feelings, but with a distinctly Carly Rae Jepsen vibe. I'm going to read from the rules. The rules are only like 3 pages for anyone who actually wants to play this. It's super easy. What?
Did you just
What have you
drop?
done?
I nearly spilled honey and lemon, but it's fine. I didn't spill any.
And thus began the
We're in
evening.
Chloe's home.
We're in Chloe's home.
We're
Yeah,
in
this
Chloe's
is my.
home.
I've let,
I'm going to
I've
ruin
let
your
them
soft
into my home.
furnishings.
I have let them into my home.
Like
So-
vampires will never leave now.
Is that what vampires do?
You have to be asked into your home, and then
But it's not that they never leave.
I'm that kind of vampire.
Oh, right. so an elderly family member.
Get up, Granny.
Sorry.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
No.
It is many years into the future. A wealthy and powerful person or persons has claimed a rare and much sought after prize, the vault of 200 unreleased, in brackets, this is real, close brackets, songs from renowned Canadian pop artist Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah.
Hired by an anonymous sponsor, your team of highly trained individuals will raid a well-defended location to retrieve said item. So, no one has any characters pre-made. We did play this last week just to get a sense of the game. But we're going to do totally new characters.
Oh,
yeah.
And also, Tom was not at last week's playtest, so if it seems like other people know what they're doing a bit more, that's entirely fair, because Tom is kind of jumping in at the deep end a little bit.
I'm also less clever than these 3 people.
Oh,
so-
stop it.
Stop it.
You.
Oh, stop it. You are, but stop
Also,
it.
thanks for saying I'm less clever than these 3 people when there are 4 other people in the room.
That's very
Oh, don't be
nice.
stupid. I'm not a person.
Because they're playing and you've got the rules in front of you as just established on camera.
I'm an object.
Come on.
So, we're going to go through creating characters first.
There we are.
Okay.
I'm an object.
Justin is proving a lot for Kirsty this evening.
Sorry.
It's generally a lot.
Sorry, Justin is proving a lot.
What
End of
part?
sentence. So, each of you can choose a style for your character. The
Take
styles
that,
are...
Wittgenstein.
Shut up.
The styles are
Sorry.
charismatic, sexy, hotshot, dexterous, dangerous, brooding, or bumbling. Now, you've all got these on your character sheets, so you can just circle one of them. But if there's one you particularly want, then say. Otherwise, if you want to, as we did in the playtest, we can just roll for this if people would rather just throw it to the fates, essentially, of what you play.
I'm happy rolling.
Yeah.
Although I
Same.
live in fear of charismatic or sexy.
I think we all
because,
do.
Yeah, I know. Hello, I am
Oh, yeah.
sexy.
I am so charismatic.
Oh yeah, when you walk into a room and go, my character's really charismatic and or sexy, and it's like, no, I have to
No, I have to
deliver.
hold up to it.
However, let's roll then.
Yeah, let's
we've
do
got a D8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So
Ignore the
basically, ignore the 8. Do we?
Okay, yeah,
Which
that's
rule
fine.
would you like to go with? If you roll an 8, you ignore the 8 and you just re-roll, or if you roll an 8, you roll twice more and you have to be both those things.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm going to be a
that-
sexy bumbling.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I think I made that exact joke last time.
Maybe.
Right.
Which I'm happy to go with what people are happy with on here in terms of whether you'd rather have one characteristic or potentially
I'm
might
not
have
sure
two.
if I can have more than
I was
one.
gonna say I struggle at the best of times with just.
I'm always,
British, so-
I'm always a fan of potentially unplayable things.
Well, Justin, if you want to do the, we'll
I'm
see
gonna
if you
get
roll
two
8.
now.
We'll see
Yeah.
we'll see if you roll 8. But would you like to roll the D8? Make sure you're rolling on the black table,
I wouldn't like
because otherwise
to.
it's going
I'd
to be
love
super
to.
loud.
Roll it on the black
table. His ripped abs. A joke from earlier. 5.
5.
I am dangerous.
Oh,
Yeah.
We all knew that.
Not because I'm edgy. I'm just very reckless and have poor judgment.
Yeah, just really bad health and safety.
Yeah.
You can
This
cover
hand
that
grenade
as
is
you
fine.
So, Tom,
Hi.
What do you mean raw meat in a fridge? It's fine.
Oh no!
Oh no! So you're dangerous.
what?
I mean, it was a 6, if you want that.
Brooding.
Brooding.
Oh my
Go
gosh,
for it.
yes!
you want brooding, Tom?
I get
Oh,
it.
thank you. Yeah, that's
Okay,
I'd like to
so
see-
he's very excited about
I'd
the
like-
prospect of brooding.
I'd like
Tom.
to see
Okay.
broody, Tom.
Okay.
I've seen brooding.
I get
Tom.
very broody.
Yeah, I do.
I love kids.
I used to hate children, and now I see them on the tube, and I'm like, no, look at
Yeah.
the little feet.
Oh.
So
No.
back on the heist.
Sorry.
Back on the- yeah.
Sorry,
We are
occasionally
stealing a womb.
I'm just gonna make it like a catchphrase. If I say
Sorry.
back on the heist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just means.
Come on,
So
cats.
this is.
Let's go.
I'd love to talk about babies at some point, but later.
No, please.
Off stream.
So Tom, you're brooding?
I've gone with brooding. Yeah, that was number
Cool.
6.
Fiona, have a roll.
I'm in the process of brooding.
Please, not
Literally.
charismatic. It's a 6 as well.
Another
Brooding
brood.
too.
I'll
Do you
roll
want to
again.
reroll?
I'm gonna reroll, yeah.
That's fair. We don't need
I
too
will
much.
allow-
Otherwise, we'll be
Big
Ha!
2.
Sexy!
Oh, no!
Deal with it!
Okay.
We no longer have big brood
what I
energy.
will say is,
Yeah.
you get to define what is sexy. Sexy doesn't have to be like a specific version or image of sexy.
Yeah.
Sexy could just be you're like an incredible expert at the things that you know about,
Okay.
and when you get into it, it's just like, God, this person has an incredible brain, and that makes them
That's
really attractive.
yeah. We'll see. It might just end
Yeah.
up with me just going,
Yeah.
breasts.
On a tray.
That'll be a breast on a tray.
Oh,
Here you
no,
go.
it is.
That was
Chicken,
actually,
chicken breasts. Oh,
that's actually
Yeah.
what Chloe described.
That's
course.
You just-
yeah, it's within
We'll
what I
see.
described.
We'll
But
see
yeah,
how it goes.
World-renowned breast collector.
sexy
on a
can
tray.
cover a wide
Yeah.
spectrum.
I understand breasts.
no, the
Okay.
problematic
A little
version.
bit.
Kirsty.
Come on.
Okay. I'm 6 as well. No, no, no.
Big brood
Everyone's
energy.
brooding.
Yeah.
Big broody energy.
Brooding energy.
4.
Dexterous.
Dexterous.
I know that's the only one that isn't a personality.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
it's natural skill.
Yeah.
I don't know, flexible. You know.
I'll take
You
it.
move with things.
Oh right. Oh,
Always
so
available.
like
You
emotionally.
could be
Oh yeah, I
mentally
guess
dexterous,
yeah,
couldn't you?
emotionally or mentally
Reactive
dexterous
emotional
could
intelligence.
be
Someone
be it.
unflappable.
So
That's
That was a normal statement. You're
the
gonna have to
next
stop.
step
Easily
is
flat.
choose a role for your character.
Right.
Again, we can roll for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can roll the
I'd
D8.
really like to roll. For
Yes.
this.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
think-
Kirsty
yeah,
will go
Kirsty
back
goes
to the other
first.
way.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
round.
So Kirsty.
Is there 8 of this?
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, there are 8.
Is there? Or
This is
or-
fixer, driver, muscle, inside man, hacker, leader, grifter, or new kid. For those who
boy.
don't have the stuff in front of them.
One.
The fixer.
Dexterous fixer.
Dexterous
Ooh,
fixer.
That's
Actually, that actually works pretty well.
That works really well. Yeah.
That's good. We got the sexy. Oh, it's fixer
the
again.
sexy
so we'll get
Oh
fixer.
god,
seven
so many
goes.
fixers.
The
Number
sexer.
5. What's 5?
The hacker.
Oh,
Sexy
right. Yeah.
Sexy hacker.
I'm for that. Yeah.
This
Sexy
is where
hammer
the
works.
intelligence is going to be.
Basically, the Matrix.
The girl with the
He's like
dragon
beauty
tattoo.
and brains.
Yes.
8.
The new kid.
The new
Yay.
kid.
Perfect.
The broody new kid.
The brooding new kid.
Shut up! I'm gonna go and listen to Linkin Park.
Brooding.
Brooding new kid.
Okay,
and
I am
who's dangerous?
the dangerous
Dangerous.
driver.
We've already had you as a bumbling driver.
I am
The inside man.
the dangerous inside man.
You are cool.
All different
I
kinds
am.
this week.
I am dangerous inside man.
I'm loving that this heist team has no getaway driver.
Yeah, no, right.
Um,
It's an Uber. That's
oh god, it would be in the future, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Time to go.
15 minutes.
So
Surge pricing due
Order
to
it in
heist.
advance.
Yeah.
this is now one that again you can
cooling,
choose if
right?
you want, or you can roll for it. But you're going to choose your number, which is between 2 to 5.
Okay.
A higher number means you're better at swords, which is things like technology, science, rationality, being analytic, kind of thinking things through, mechanics, stuff like that. And a low number means you're better at emotions, which is intuition, diplomacy, kind of convincing people, wild, passionate action, and seduction. So if you want to choose this, that's absolutely fine. Again, if you would rather roll to see just where on this spectrum your character falls, totally fine as well.
I'll be up for rolling.
Yeah.
So, complete
Yeah,
round
everyone's
and see
good
how
at
it
rolling.
goes.
Finish
Tom, why don't you? We'll just
Yeah, we'll go in the
shift
middle.
Go
2
down the
starts
middle.
each time.
All right.
And we'll
It's
go
a-
Tom, Fiona,
Right, so I roll
Kirsty,
it-
It's
Justin.
a D6 and then ignore
And we
one or
ignore a
six.
1 or a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a 1. 1. And that is a 2. So that means I am super emotional.
Yeah.
Seems right for the brooding and
Okay.
the brooding you.
Brooding.
Brooding
Very
fits for
sweet,
that.
like
Shut up, Mom!
But I'm really good at emotions, but very bad
right.
at swords.
Oh right.
So essentially, you're like going through your emo phase,
Constantly.
but like, yeah, that's your okay, cool.
Can't
Yeah.
do anything. Oh,
Teenage.
I feel like
Kirsty.
there's a very tragic backstory.
Yeah.
It's going to
Oh,
emerge
fair.
at some
Yeah.
point, isn't it?
No.
It's a 1. God. A
5.
Ooh, a
Super
bit of
swordy.
swords. Yeah, sexies
works.
with swords.
Yeah, that's
It
appropriate.
suits the
Sexy hacker who's really laser precision. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
5 as
Five.
well.
Oh, 5.
Nice,
Swords.
dexterous.
I'm
We've
liking
got
just only
extremes so
having
far,
extremes.
It's great. I love it.
Justin,
There's no.
Time
where
for
will
our-
the dangerous inside man fall on this range?
Inside a dangerous man. Why did we see?
He's so big.
Four.
And I'm slightly more swordsy.
So we've got one person who's good at emotions, 2 who are super good at swords, and 1 who's also pretty good
Pretty
at
good at
swords.
Oh
And
boy.
So
You kid brings the emotion and life to the party.
You're the emotional heart.
Yeah.
You die.
the,
Probably.
the next thing to do is to give your character a cool heist name. Now, the names that we had in the playtest were things like Sweetie Roses, Handstand McGee, yeah.
Handstand.
Derek W Drive, and W was a full word. Derek W Drive. And then, I'm slipping on
You had tug of war.
Tug
Yeah.
of
That is
o'
good.
war. Tug o' war.
Yeah.
So
There's
that
an
gives
OB in the
you
middle name.
an idea of where things have been.
That's the standard you have to reach. That's
Just
Yeah.
like weird names and nouns, or names and verbs, things like that. Just think cool future stuff. If anyone has anything that's immediately coming to mind, then do say.
Flick ruins.
Flick Ruins.
Ooh, nice.
that.
God, that's a cool name.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Dexterous Fixer, Flick Ruins.
And that's
Is
not
Flick
a verb.
short for like? So I know people who are called Felicity who shorten it to Flick, or is it just Flick?
Just flick.
Just Flick.
With a Y.
Because future.
Does everyone always say, "Hey, Flyke"? It's Flick.
Yes. Yes. 100%. I'm going to correct people every single time. Even if they don't ask. It's flick with a Y.
Pronounced Flick,
Flick.
not the other
Yeah.
way.
Not flight.
Not Fluke.
with an umlaut.
Yeah.
Any
That's my mother.
thoughts for our sexy hacker dangerous inside man?
Did think, because my partner's cat has this name, Fancy Alice.
Ooh.
Fancy Alice.
It's a long
Well,
story, which
fancy that.
I won't go on stream about it, but yes, she's called Fancy Alice.
Fancy Alice, and is that with a Y?
That can be
I
just
know, it's,
for
no,
patrons.
that's I. So
I for the Alice, is that a Y for the fancy?
yeah, of course.
Cool. Just checking what
Might not.
What?
Might be.
vowels or vowel adjacent letters people
Of
are
course.
using.
Oh dear.
So, men.
Hello, I am.
We address
Ben.
you now.
What,
No, I am
what are the
men.
men called?
Achilles' heartburn.
Ooh. Wow.
The brooding new kid.
Oh, and
Is it half
I've
the
also
way?
gone Greek on my theme because
Oh,
I
really?
Are you just
Burning hearts
Are you
and
just
burning
talking
rubber?
about the afflictions
Achilles
that you yourself
heartburn.
have, Tom? Just like a bad Achilles heel in it.
Yeah.
The Achilles heartburn. Oh no! My one weakness.
Some milk.
So Achilles Heartburn, Fancy Alice, Flick Ruins,
And Casey Smith.
how the hell do you spell that?
Anchises.
Wait, I'm just gonna Anchises.
Oh, and Casey. I thought you were saying and.
And Casey Smith.
Yeah, why do you
it's
get
and
and?
Casey.
Not gonna lie, thought the same thing.
Justin just was casting himself as a more successful actor. So
Yeah.
Casey
And
Smith.
featuring Casey Smith. I was in a prilm.
Pearl?
I had a prilm.
Why did we sit Justin next to the microphone?
Yeah.
I can move.
because
Shall
I just
change places.
because I never learn. Because I never learn.
How about I lean back?
I can move. I'm sure it's fine.
You said it so quietly. I can move.
It's fine.
Can move.
So we've got character types, we've got names, etc. So you're all aware, you have an outfit of your choice. We will come to those outfits shortly, because I'm going to do something a little bit different to the playtest in a bit. An earpiece to communicate with your team.
Okay.
What we've said in previous games is that if you use the earpiece to communicate, you communicate with all of the team. Everyone can hear what you're saying. It's not
you can't
direct to
PM
one
people.
individual person.
Okay.
No, it's
Achilles
all
is a
on
real
one
dude.
network. You also have a concealable taser gun, and this
Nice.
gun has one shot. Yes, so you can only use it the once.
Pain.
Yeah. Well, that's what
That's
happened
what
last time. I
happened
shot
last
myself in the leg.
Kirsty, as the fixer, you also get a concealable and handheld laser blowtorch.
Shit, yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Sorry, are we allowed to swear?
Yes,
Too late now, but
Yeah.
like,
Fuck.
cool.
we are allowed
Goodbye,
to
Your
swear.
Holiness.
Your Holiness, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
We apologise, but
Is
next time.
laser
I mean,
spelled
like-
with an S or a Z?
Here it's spelled with an S.
Cool. Laser blowtorch.
Laser blowtorch. Yes.
Oh, that would have been a cool name.
Yeah.
Laser blowtorch, yeah.
I am laser blowtorch, and I have a laser blowtorch.
Damn
No
it.
look catcher than blowtorches. Then.
I mean,
It's just the one blowtorch, actually.
if it wasn't for the fact it says the blowtorch is concealable and handheld, I would have been like, they can be your sidekick if you want.
Amazing.
Concealable and handheld means probably not.
A very hot breath.
So, the hacker, Fiona,
Yes.
you get an auto-hack device with one use.
That makes sense.
And that's totally, I'm going to leave that up to you in terms of what that device looks like, what it is capable of hacking, etc.
It's just a hammer.
One use. Don't need it anymore.
It's just a really, really fragile hammer.
Yeah, it explodes.
Tom,
Hi.
as the new kid, you get an old-fashioned / manual lockpick.
I can work with that.
Yeah.
Is that a single use as well, or is it not single use?
No, I mean it's
Ooh.
old-fashioned and manual. So
Yeah,
if
so
you
it's not
say
gonna be
roll
digital
really
locks.
badly,
Yeah.
it might turn out to be one use.
Ho ho. Okay. Old.
We will see.
Why haven't they made this out of cheese?
I'm going to call it old timey lockpick kit.
Is that the brand?
Yeah.
Justin. Oh, you get a map of the facility.
Oh,
Ooh.
that could have been
Inside
really
man.
Inside
useful
map,
earlier.
which I feel puts a lot of pressure on me to know the shape of the facility.
Oh, nice.
Underrated Oscar-winning film.
The shape of the
rhombus.
facility. So your individual, like your player goal. So you as IRL people, you want to successfully pull off a heist or have fun unsuccessfully doing it. Character goal. You can choose one of the following, or you can create your own. Steal an item of great value, break into a secure location, get into a fight, trick or seduce someone. Those are like the options here, but
Okay.
anything that you kind of think, oh, that's something that my character, that's like a big arc that my character's trying to achieve. So, let me know when you think you've got like a rough sense of a thing.
Do we have to reveal them in advance?
You don't have to.
Okay. Because I have one that will make more sense once I've
start
been
playing.
introduced. Yeah.
Okay.
If I can do that.
Yes, Tom has a concept.
I had an idea on the train.
It's a concept. But I am excited to see how it plays out. So the next thing is, everyone got like a little thing for your character, that kind of. Why
Yeah,
are you showing this to
I
me?
don't know. Was I supposed to? I thought I was supposed to.
Oh, okay. No. That's grand. Yeah.
So,
That's a solid goal.
it's a solid goal.
So
So solid goal.
I'm gonna say the next bit is creating your getaway vehicle. None of you are a driver.
Yeah.
Nope.
So normally it would just be that you all choose 2 strengths and there isn't a specific person who gets to like nominate them. I feel like it's better for you to roll for the 2 attributes and the 1 weakness, because none of you are a driver, and to be honest, who knows what your getaway vehicle is.
Absolutely.
What I'd like to ask is, for all of your characters, in any heist situation, what would their ideal or preferred getaway vehicle be? So this isn't like one for the group, it's just for your character. Maybe this is from the past heists that you've carried out, or you once saw a really cool thing that you've always wanted to emulate, or you really want to shove it in another criminal's face by having just a thing that's better than theirs. But what would make their hearts sing to have as their getaway vehicle? And this can be anything from like a penny farthing to a frictionless spaceship.
So we all pick one of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is something that isn't strictly, it's not like part of the quick play rules, but because none of you are a driver, I would like to have this piece of information.
Yeah.
Do you want us to tell you? Or
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I got it.
This is where I'm gonna like make some notes. Do you have
something
thoughts?
that can have some form of cloaking device or ability to not be detectable by the target?
So there's no kind of preference over the exact type of the vehicle.
As long as it can be invisible in some way.
Okay, as long as it's invisible.
Or has the ability to be.
Yeah.
Or has
some way
Okay.
of cloaking.
That's some useful wording. Has the ability to be. Right, Fiona, do you have any thoughts for Fancy Alice?
Sorry, that's going to get me all fucking night. It's great because you won't watch this. Fancy Alice. I think that, have you seen those adverts with Cara Delevingne over all the cars and she's all on different things? It's whatever that car is. It's got to look super like.
With Cara Delevingne.
Yes, I think
No,
I know the one you mean.
But it's like it's got to be one where when it decloaks, everyone goes.
Oh,
It's got to have that wow factor. So that's,
super cool car.
Yeah.
Tom Black.
that's all I got.
A boat.
Any kind of boat.
I have some.
Because I mean, there are a lot of
Submarine?
different kinds of boat.
A sailing ship.
A sailing ship. Okay.
We press the button.
Achilles
but we're on land.
heartburn. Big fan of
Don't think
sailing
it through.
ships. Justin, what would Anchises?
Anchises Smith.
Anchises Smith.
And Kaisi.
Anchises Smith would much enjoy to have some kind of a surface to space shuttle with a well-stocked cocktail bar.
Ah, this guy.
With Cara
Surface
Delevingne
to
stuck to the
space.
outside.
Yeah.
Surface to space shuttle with a well-stocked.
Yeah, it's very plush inside.
We're gonna have this all.
I know, I already hate this.
Which one are you again, Justin?
Roger Moore.
The dangerous
He's the
inside
dangerous.
man.
He is
He's
the
the
dangerous
inside
inside
man
man,
with the
yeah.
map of the facility.
Oh,
We all have to be his
boy.
friend.
Okay.
Exactly.
Could someone please roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a D8 for me and ignore
You wanna
8?
go for it?
And this is going to be
Oh, no,
something about the
you did.
getaway vehicle.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
but
go.
no, I mean, Kirsty, do it. Let's do the roll.
Do it.
Go on.
Do it.
Do
Go
the
on.
roll. Do it.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be something with a cloaking device.
Hooray.
Ah, yeah.
I'm still not going to pin down what this vehicle is.
It's the cloaking device, just a
Another
blanket.
D8 roll.
Alright,
4.
4. It has superior senses.
Excellent.
And
4.
could someone roll a D6 for me? And ignore any 6s.
That's a 3.
A 3. It's prone to breaking down.
Again.
Not again.
In space.
It
Yeah.
has the capability to be invisible.
Oh no.
Is it one of those? Can it be one of those things where it's like really advanced but like unreliable, hyper cutting edge tech? So it's like no one quite understands how it works.
It's a
Just
Tiger
turn it on
1
and off
from
again.
World War
Just turn it on and off
It'll be
again.
fine.
Call Apple.
The geniuses will know.
Yeah.
So, would one of you actually, I'm gonna roll up the dice to actually create the heist. But while I'm doing that, and I'm also just going to check that everything's working with the stream, would someone just like to go over, for the benefit of anyone watching who's not played the game, these rolling the dice information, just so that people understand what we're doing when we're rolling d6s?
Okay. Would
Yeah.
anyone else like to have a go?
No.
You've got the Roger Moore voice.
The Roger Moore.
I don't know how
It
it
doesn't
works,
have to
so
be in the
I'd
voice
like
of
to do
Anne
this.
Casey
No,
Smith, but it can be if you want.
Well, it's going to be.
Oh.
Rolling the dice. When you do something risky, roll 1d6 to find out how it goes. Roll plus 1d if you're prepared, and plus 1d if you're an expert. The GM tells you how many dice to roll based on your character and the situation. Roll your dice and compare each die result to your number. If you're using swords, precision, reason, you want to roll under your number. If you're using emotions, rapport, passion, you want to roll over your number. 0. If none of your dice succeed, it goes wrong. The GM says how things get worse somehow. 1. If one die succeeds, you barely manage it. The GM inflicts a complication, harm, or cost. 2. If 2 dice succeed, you do it well. Good job. If 3 dice succeed, you get a critical success. The GM tells you some extra effect you get. And there's an exclamation mark here. If you roll your number exactly, you have cut to the feeling. You get a special insight into what's going on. Ask the GM a question and they'll answer you honestly.
And that's funny because Cut to the Feeling is a Carly Rae Jepsen song. As you were.
There will be other apparently funny things similar to that.
Indeed, this is a game rich in references, as all good games are. Some good questions, back to Cutting to the Feeling. What are they really feeling? Who's behind this? How can I get them to... What should I be on the lookout for? What's the best way to... What's really going on here? You can change... You can change your action if you want to, then treat this role as a success and continue with the story. Helping or hindering. If you want to help or hinder someone else who's rolling, say how you try to do so and make a roll. If you succeed, give them plus 1d or minus 1d.
Cool. Thank you for that dramatic reading.
You're very welcome.
Justin.
That's good.
So, I have rolled up. I have rolled up the heist. I'm gonna. The dice have decided, so I'm gonna stick to what they've decided.
Dice have spoken.
The
So-
dice have spoken.
The dice have decided that the songs are locked in a train.
Again!
Yet again, they were also locked in a train during our playtest.
Which I wasn't in, and I love trains. So I was really
Tom's,
gutted I might
that's
miss
why
some
Tom's
trains.
quite so excited about trains.
Train heist.
It will, yes, Tom and the tank engine.
Yes!
Yeah. They are being kept by a media mogul.
Oh.
Sorry, what does that mean?
That means, well, to be honest,
Like Richard Branson. Like
Yes.
head of
Rupert
heaven.
Murdoch.
what
Yeah.
I was
That's
gonna
better than-
The reanimated corpse of
what I was gonna put forward, as given this is a game already about pop culture references and things
Yes.
like that, it is also set far, far in the future. So I was gonna pick one of the celebrities where people have a theory that they never age or die, like Paul Rudd or Keanu Reeves,
Yeah.
Ooh.
and say that it was one of those two.
Ooh.
Yes.
Does any I don't do an impression of either of those two people.
They're both very nice people, but Keanu
Yes.
Reeves is notably very, very kind and nice and
Yes.
gives away loads of his money. So I think if there's one who's more likely to become a media mogul, it's going to be Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Because Keanu Reeves is so on the
I
record with
agree.
being a really lovely, giving guy. No disrespect, Paul Rudd, he seems very nice as well. But if it's about
Yeah.
grabbing,
I agree. Yeah,
Paul,
I agree.
Paul
grabbing
Rudd
power,
bursts into tears on
maybe in
watching.
his later years some dark stuff happens and
Yeah.
Paul Rudd has become a...
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves will be on our side.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Keanu Reeves is on your side.
Yeah.
Paul
Yeah,
Rudd
got
is on
it,
the other
got
side.
The two immortals.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
My God.
A game through
The
history.
Temple of Reeds.
So just to recap on our super serious game, the songs are locked in a train and being kept by Keanu Reeves, who in the future...
No,
No,
Paul
no,
Rudd. It's Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Oh
What is
no,
it
are being
actually?
kept
Paul
by
Rudd.
Paul Rudd, who in the future is a giant media mogul.
He's a giant. He's
I'm sorry,
spent his
I can't
money
stop
making the
seeing
Ant-Man
the-
tape.
Yeah, really.
I can't stop seeing the Ant-Man
Yeah.
scene with the train.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
The backer who hired the team is a corrupt politician. And
Ooh.
we'll get a bit more information on
Ooh,
the scene.
moral ambiguity. Maybe
Paul
Paul
Rudd.
Rudd's the good guy.
Paul Rudd wants the songs to seal them away forever.
Oh, he really, 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 really doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That again, Carly Rae Jepsen song reference.
Ha!
we
Sorry.
would sing we would sing songs, but we can't because of the legal situation with streaming on Twitch. Hence why we're just flatly saying the titles of songs.
No deal can't come soon enough. It will have no impact on this and make many other things worse. Ignore that statement.
Yes.
Is this your new thing?
Just
I'm
mentioning.
trying out being a lever.
So I'm
like a
just
jacket.
also writing up because one of the other fun things in this game is double crossing and triple crossing.
Ooh.
And I've rolled a d6. These options range from the entire team is loyal to the backer to one player is loyal to a third party of their choice and one player is loyal to the target. So it could be anything between them there of like people being loyal to the backer, being loyal to the target. I'm just writing them up as notes so that no one knows what anyone else has.
Of course.
And then I will hand these to you all. Take this moment. What I'm going to say is, as soon as we've done this and we've got that established, I want to start with like a kind of montage description of each of your characters, like doing their thing and being cool.
Yeah.
So have a little think while I'm writing these of what they would be doing in that situation. This is like the moment we see them doing a cool thing and then getting approached to be part of this heist.
Outfits? Are we doing that?
Oh yes, why don't you describe what your outfits are?
At the same time as describing that kind of montage moment.
Yeah, we'll have a little think about what your outfits are, and you can describe them during the montage.
Oh boy.
Is that when you say be approached as part of the heist? Are we going to be directly approached by our politician?
It might
figure?
not be. Well, it might not be by the politician themselves. It might be
but
a
a representative
representative of the
thereof?
politician.
Sure.
But you
But
are
in
going
this
to be
scene, that will
approached to
happen.
be
Okay.
part of this heist. Yes.
Cool. Okay.
So. Okay. That is for you.
It was so tense last time because I was like,
Oh, I need to actually write some more stuff. I keep forgetting.
oh,
something
traitor.
There's different
You are
things.
Could be a
so
lot.
damn loyal.
Could be that all of these just say you're all on the same team.
Like,
We won't
"Aw."
know.
We won't know and we'll all be there.
Yeah.
You're loyal. You're loyal. You're loyal.
loyal.
Oh, you're loyal. That's nice. Then we just get angsty with each other for no reason. I assume that is the way the mechanic works.
So loyal. I hate it. More than me.
Cool. Tom, Fiona,
Thank you.
and Kirsty.
Sorry.
So have a little look at these privately. If you have any questions, if anything's confusing you, then do let me know.
Can I ask
Cool.
what that says?
Nose.
Swastika.
Right.
That's my terrible handwriting. So,
Swastika.
unless we have any questions, anything anyone wants to clarify? Okay. I'm just double checking again that everything is working tech-wise because I get
Just performing to an empty room.
very. Well, I get very paranoid, and additionally,
No, I feel
like
it. I feel it.
we don't have anyone else to help out with the tech.
It
Oh.
seems delayed.
Paul Rudd here, slightly disappointed, but I do understand Keanu's such a top guy. That's in the chat.
Thanks for
Thanks,
understanding,
Paul
Paul.
Rudd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do you proud.
Loved you and I love you, man.
It will be. It may be a little bit delayed.
Oh,
That's
okay.
because I'm watching it through the. That's
Yeah,
because
you're
that's
watching
coming
the
through the
stream.
Twitch.
Yeah.
If you watch
We're
it
on
through
layers.
OBS,
Oh, got you.
this
got you,
is the
got you.
magic of technology. This is the content everyone came
Oh,
for.
that's
Right?
But watching
Okay.
ourselves in the past.
It's in sync.
Okay, just, am I going to move you away from the
Yeah.
screen?
Maybe
Okay,
Change places, right?
so it's another day in All That City, Carly Rae Jepsen song reference.
All that city.
It is a city of crime and criminals. It is a city of corruption and darkness. There is one beacon of hope. The songs of Carly Rae Jepsen. The joy they bring to people. Are you okay,
Did you
Tom?
hurt yourself?
No, we're really doing this.
Yeah.
This is happening.
We're not doing this. The songs of Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah.
They bring everyone joy. But it has been rumoured that there is a vault of 200 more songs. And people are running out of Carly Rae Jepsen content. There are only so many times that you can listen to too much before it becomes too much.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Carry on.
And indeed, it seems like the politicians of All That City, including Mayor...
Careful. We're ready.
This is, yes. I'm sorry, including Mayor Keanu Reeves.
Lean
Yes!
into it. Lean into it.
Oh no, but then he's
I
got to be,
know, he's corrupt.
he's corrupt. Maybe he's corrupt for the right reasons.
Exactly.
He's in the pocket of the charity sector.
He might just be a Harvey Dent figure who probably crosses some lines
Becomes
or
Agent
whatever
Smith,
to
that's
actually
what it
make
is,
things
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So Mayor Keanu Reeves, who knows whether he is trying to make things better and struggling, or whether actually he is just feeding into the darkness of all that city. Who knows?
Nice.
Oh, that's silly.
All
But
about
there have been
city.
rumours. There have been rumours about this vault of 200 Carly Rae Jepsen songs that would bring light and life to so many people. And maybe for once, a group of bad people can do something good.
Is that another reference?
No, that was just me really enjoying the filmic cheesiness of it.
That's good.
I enjoy it.
Let's start
It's like camembert.
with Flick Ruins.
Yes.
It's just another day in all that city, but Flick is doing what... Well, I'm assuming Flick uses your pronouns?
Yes. Yeah.
Does everyone's character use
Yes.
their
Yes.
personal pronouns?
She, her, yeah.
Yes, and Casey Smith does.
What?
Good
And
lord.
Casey Smith
That's
also
your
refers
pronouns.
and Casey
And
Smith.
Casey
is
Smith.
the
And
person.
Casey Smith.
Yeah.
So, what is Flick Ruins, dexterous fixer, doing on this day in all that city?
She is by day an athlete, specifically a gymnast, but more the kind of gymnast that is just rippling muscle rather than the ones that can do lots and like loads and loads of flips. She can totes do flips, like please. But she's more of the kind of like can stand on one hand while like doing a one-handed French plat whilst she's upside down, like
Nice.
yeah.
I mean, that is dexterous.
Right,
So
amazing.
it's very dexterous. She's more about strength and that kind of being it like that calisthenics.
Or calisthenics.
There we go.
Wow,
Thank you.
new word.
Sorry, I had a glitch in the matrix, but yeah. So that's
Keanu,
her.
Keanu.
We trust him.
So yeah, she has, and she kind of that is her living, and she makes her living with sponsors, obviously.
Nice.
So, but her sponsors are slightly unusual in that they are like tech brands, because that's another area that she's skilled at, but she's put more of her energy into gymnastics. So she is sponsored by like Carphone Warehouse.
Branding on all
And
this.
Yeah.
Is this Carphone Warehouse that has continued to survive hundreds of years into the future?
Yes, and curries.
So Carphone Warehouse.
It's
You
made
might
it-
not
it made
survive
it
the
come
next
back, yeah.
decade.
Yeah, it's come back.
Yeah, come back
There's a
for
vicious comeback.
Um,
Rebrands, then I'll do.
If Curry's
Currys.
or
They now
Carphone
do
Warehouse
Currys.
are
They-
watching, we'd really appreciate the sponsorship.
We all need new
we
phones.
definitely won't be
This is
misrepresenting
not Spawn.
your companies
Yeah.
or portraying them in a bad way
Absolutely
at all
not.
during the stream.
No. This is
Walmart.
not an ad. We are not sponsored by them.
What?
But, you know.
Oh, right.
Anyway, sorry.
What does Flick typically wear? Give us a little picture of Flick.
So she generally wears the kind of like Under Armour skin tight, like round neck, long sleeve tops, and a utility belt, like kind of 80s Batman, but it's rather than being like yellow and leather, it's black leather. Thank you, Justin.
Sorry.
Mwah.
Do it whenever there's punctuation. Sorry. Sorry.
That's alright.
Oh dear, no, I can't start crying and laughing now. Oh dear. And also like black leggings, also that kind of like Under Armour, very tight, so you can see kind of every muscle to the point that
Get
it's
really
almost...
lightheaded a lot.
Huh?
Get really lightheaded a lot.
No, but it makes other people kind of go like, oh, "Are you okay? Like that looks really. Are you?" But it like it fits perfectly, and it does give me the right level of support that my muscles and everything need.
Yeah.
But everyone else is a bit concerned. Also, like, and on my feet I wear like boxing boots. The really light, like lightweight ones with the laces up the front. And so on a normal day, I am drilling at my gym. I am walking on my hands, going up and down steps and down the other side, up steps, pause at the top, hop from one hand to the other and back down the other side. That kind of like, and also just generally showing off to the other people in the gym. I decided she's like a real egomaniac as well. Even though I didn't roll for that.
Yes.
She's just a bit
Cool.
like of an arrogant twat.
What I'm gonna say is, you drill at the gym a lot.
Mm.
Presumably, you might be there when most people have long given up.
Yeah, I only sleep for like 3 hours a night.
Exactly. So at the end of this long day of drilling, you go to get changed. You have a shower. You go to the changing rooms. It's incredibly dark, but then there is one figure in here who just walks in, and it's a person in a suit.
I'm sorry, do you have membership here?
I don't need membership.
So you say,
Clone after.
I don't need membership. I have a message for you.
Could you not have contacted my agent?
I'm not interested in that half of your services.
Yes.
Noon tomorrow, Central Station. You need to go there. Okay?
That's going to clash with my schedule. I have a press meet with my sponsors, and
I would like to know a tiny bit about your family. What is Flick's family situation? Or is there anyone in
Proper,
all that
like-
city that Flick cares about?
dance mom.
yes.
Like, she drilled, like, she took me to gymnastics since I was like 2. If that's a thing. Sure, it's a thing.
Yeah.
I could walk on my hands better than I could walk on my feet when I was a toddler.
Mr. Reeves needs your assistance, and if you withhold that from him, you'll never see your mother again.
Mr. Reeves,
Mayor
The mayor.
Reeves, if that would help you understand the gravity of this situation.
I've met the mayor. I'm sure it's a misunderstanding. I'll be there, but I'm sure it's a misunderstanding.
noon tomorrow. Where was it? Sorry.
Central Station.
This is why everyone speaks to my agent. I just don't remember these things.
Central Station, meet under the main clock.
Got it. Central Station clock. Cool.
And maybe less of the attitude tomorrow. And just, like, they're gonna try to just, like, be really cool and back out. Depends whether you let them just get away with that move. Just turn it back into the shadows.
Attitude.
And they leave you alone there. So, I would now like to go to, now that we've got a sense of the tone of this
Yeah.
thing, Achilles' heartburn.
It's from wanking
What?
and crying. It's a Limp Bizkit.
Oh god.
What's Achilles' heartburn? Brooding new kid who enjoys sailing ships
No, it's going to
doing
be
today.
Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah. Achilles heartburn. Well, because of the new kid status, I'd like to take a slightly different tack with the what I'm doing today thing. If
Sure.
that's cool. I would like us to cut to the doors of a lift, the doors of an elevator, and they bing open, and we see a figure, kind of an unassuming figure, perhaps. You know, sort of not much remarkable about him at all. But strolls out, gives a polite nod to someone, and then like retreats into himself again. So he walks down the corridor of like quite a bustling, quite important office. It becomes clear, and someone says, "Oh, excuse me, sir, do you have an appointment?" And he says, "Yeah, certainly do. Sorry, right up here." Keeps walking, and goes a little further, walks straight past someone at the desk, giving them a polite wave, and then a security guard approaches him and says, "Sir, stop." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then just like he says, "Oh, is it into here?" Goes into a side room and then politely ushers the security guard in, closes the door behind him, and rigs a chair in front of it, and just politely leaves that guy. Hey, where are you going? Oh, nice. Walks a little further,
Nice.
beginning to whistle as he does, and then walking straight into an office, a very big, important office, and you can decide whether he's there or not. But he's standing in front of the desk of the mayor.
Ooh, nice.
Whoa.
Ballsy play.
Baller.
You are standing in front of the desk of the mayor, Mayor Keanu Reeves, who is not sat at his desk but is looking out broodingly through the floor to ceiling
Yes.
windows.
Yeah.
over all that city.
Are you young Keanu?
Again, I cannot do an impression of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
No one
so
can.
this is going to be the best that I can do.
Just say Matrix quotes.
Which is, it's just going to be me doing a low American accent.
There is no spoon.
I just want to say I loved you in the Matrix Revolutions.
Any more stories for me?
Just one that I fancied putting myself in the middle of. I hear you're putting a team together. I guess time I showed you what I can do.
Where did you hear? Obviously, I've been trying to keep it pretty quiet.
Oh, here, there, everywhere. My usual drinking holes are a little quieter than the kind of places these people frequent, but listen, I don't want to overstep, but you need me on this job. Let me show you how far I'm willing to go.
Why don't you prove how far you're willing to go? And he leaps at you.
Okay, let's do this.
He still remembers some of the stunt training that he
Yeah,
had
no,
back
yeah.
in the day.
This is John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
John
is now
Wick is
kind
coming.
of John,
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Wick is coming at me,
Keanu
and it
Reeves.
is terrifying.
I would like you... How are you going to try and fight him? Are you going to try and fight him through
I'm a
wild,
smart-
passionate action and that kind of thing? Or are you going to simply go completely analytic? Because he is coming for essentially
Yeah.
like a high-octane fist fight.
Kick. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Kung Fu, etc.
I'm going to. I think it is going to be an attack because I'm actually not going to try and fight back. I'm
Okay.
going to, so on an emotional level, I'm going to try and do like a dramatic roll backwards, but kind of in the same way that he's just done a kick-ass looking film move.
Yeah.
I'm going to do like a roll backwards and like land on one hand and like have one up like that, blocking whatever blow.
Okay.
So.
Well, if you're... I mean, that sounds kind of calculated, or do you want it to be more on the side of performance?
It's meant to be more formative.
More
but,
performative?
yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be rolling emotions.
Oh,
And emotions, you want to roll over your number. Your number
Cool.
is 2.
Fine.
So that's fine.
Okay.
I would say you are skilled at this. Like, this is part of your skill set. This is part of the kind of thing you've been training to do. So you can roll 2d6.
I just want my shot. I'm a scrappy new kid.
Brood.
Exactly.
2d6, and you
cool.
just want at least one of them to be over your number.
Okay.
That's
they
2
are
ones!
somehow they're both
Oh
one.
my God!
That is snake eyes.
You go.
It's perfect for the arc. I'm a new kid. I
That's
don't look
great.
ready yet.
Yes, what happens is
Yeah.
basically you roll back.
Yeah.
You try to put an arm up to
Yeah.
basically it's almost you're trying to like catch his hand
Oh.
with your hand, but as he comes over, what he actually does is he spins in the air. He's not coming at you straight, he is spinning round, swirling, and basically stops. He does actually, he gets you in the side of the head,
Ooh.
Yeah.
and basically goes, was that what you wanted to show me?
No. This was. And he realizes that rather than kicking round my attempt at a block, his hand simply went, his foot simply went through the hologram of my arm, because I drop my holographic projection I've been wearing while in this building.
oh, come on.
And reveal that my years of cybernetic implants and so on that I've been putting on, I have flawlessly reshaped them to take on quite an unusual shape that involves only having one arm. And I look him in the face and say, England expects, Mr. Mayor.
I feel like it is.
If you're going to be doing what I think you're going to be doing, I figure someone who looks exactly like the target is going to come in very handy.
Would you like to describe what you look like right now,
I look
please?
like... I look exactly like Horatio Nelson. England's greatest naval hero. One arm, one eye.
There is reasoning for this.
There is,
reasoning
and I
for
will
this.
explain to Mayor Reeves.
The target.
This is about the Horatio Nelson job, right?
It's Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh.
We're gonna cut out that scene there. There is training reasons for this.
Glory.
Okay.
You would
Yeah,
really
that's a good bit.
We're now gonna cut to Fiona. At some point we'll get to the heist, but I'm just enjoying this so much.
Yeah.
So we are cutting to Fancy Alice. What does Fancy Alice tend to do of a day in all that city?
Fancy Alice.
Fancy Alice.
Fancy Alice.
So my thought, literally, when I just put sexy and the hacker together, is from Ocean's 12, like Rihanna. I think she's called 8 Ball.
8
8 Ball, yeah.
Or 9 Ball.
Or whatever.
Ocean's 8.
Is it Ocean's 8? Okay.
Ocean's 8.
yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
One of the oceans. There.
The new one.
An
The
ocean.
all-female one.
Oh no!
All
Just
female.
oh no, they all fell.
No, I don't want them.
I do not.
Fancy Alice. Fancy Alice.
Fancy Alice.
So I like the idea that her sort of job is like sort of a DJ of some sort. So she does
Okay.
underground raves and whatnot.
Nice.
So she'll obviously have a massive big fuck off pair of headphones on her at every point, and probably chewing gum. But she lives up to the sort of the fanciness because she looks a bit like Jessica Rabbit. So that's a long emo type hair, and it's just always in a formal gown. No
Nice.
reason.
Always in a formal gown.
Yeah. So that
Right.
when the dancers are like fancy Alice, fancy and she, appears,
Yeah.
like, sort of, and then it's just like the big lips, the hair, the makeup, and then it's like chewing gum, and then like spins the record, and then mixing in, and it's like a bit of Carly Rae comes in, like I really like, and then the
Sick.
crowd goes wild, and then morning comes, everyone goes, and I just saunter off doing the stride of pride back to my garage or wherever I hole
Cool.
up. That's it. Yeah.
This particular night, you saunter out of the club. There are still kind of cries of "Fancy Alice, Fancy Alice" as you just go out into the night, and suddenly you go from the hot air of the club to just like the cool,
Yeah.
refreshing breeze of the night air.
Yeah.
There's like some flickering street lights and stuff as you start walking down this road, and
Strutting
occasionally a car pass. But this is one of the grimier areas of town. That's where all of the clubs that you actually play, all the ones that are worth being at, are. And as you walk down the street, there's one car, and you kind of see it out the corner of your eye that it's not going to go past you.
No.
It's going to slow down. And it's going to stop next to you. And you hear like you get in the movies that of the window,
Yeah.
the back window of the tinted windows of the car coming down. And you see, actually, it's a person who, whilst you don't know this, looks precisely like the person who came and spoke to you in the gym. And just goes, "Fancy Alice?
Yeah.
Do fancy people always walk home?"
Well, I don't have a car.
Well, you do now. Get in.
I don't talk to strangers, and especially don't get into their car. I sort of saunter off on high heels.
Okay, the car is going to awkwardly keep pace with you.
Yeah.
It's going to do it like, it's very, very smooth how it manages to do that.
I really wanted it to have the driver to have really bad clutch control, so they just like keep stalling.
I know.
Yeah, I'm sauntering along. Like,
This happened the other week.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
got a new guy in who can
Yeah.
actually do this.
Okay, good.
Okay, what if I'm not a stranger? What if I'm what if I'm the mayor's assistant?
did he see my latest gig?
Let's say he's very impressed with your work.
Do you want me for some sort of office party? I do Christmas parties, but I charge quite a high rate, if you know what I mean.
Oh, don't worry. We've got more than enough money to cover your expenses. But I wouldn't like to say any more.
No.
Will you get in?
And I'll sort of teeter around to the other, and then like, is it a push then pull or a pull?
It's a car door. You just pull.
But have you got child locks on?
No, of course. I'm the only one in here apart from the drive. No, just no. Wait. I'll leave. I'll leave. Just.
Okay.
You need to step back while I'm
sitting,
okay.
okay.
And then opens it.
Okay. Great.
Right.
Great.
Okay.
Right.
No.
I
sit
awkwardly,
and-
I try and do like the Princess Diaries, trying to get in without showing any parts. Never mind. Just get in.
Right. Okay.
Right.
And close the door. Can you close it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it shut?
Do I really have to lean across
it's
you?
okay.
So.
Sorry. Can we? in.
Okay. And the car starts going at like a decent speed. If you ever kind of think about it, it is going in the direction of your house.
Okay.
It is going to where you live.
Okay. Worrying.
So the mayor is in need.
Sorry. Can we change the music? Because it's.
Gavin. Gavin.
I've got
one
mine.
of those things like comes down where you have a separation between like the driver and the rest of the car. This entire car is just things that go on. And this thing comes down, and you can see this kind of very beleaguered looking, quite scrawny bloke in the front seat.
Mm-hmm. I sort of pull out my Zune. Here, put this in, and play track list 2-5.
Do what she says, Gavin. Do what she says. Learn how to use the clutch more, Gavin. Change the music, Gavin. And pops it in. And presumably
the partition down, or is it going up as he's having it?
It's now slowly going back up, but you can hear the change in the
music.
music. So the mayor needs your help with something. There's not all that much that I can say right now, but basically we need you to be at Central Station underneath the main clock at noon tomorrow. I presume you can do that.
Well, I guess I usually prepare for my gigs, but sure, I'll be there.
What if this job was going to give you access to an amount of music the likes of which you've never even encountered before?
What do you mean?
Have you heard of the Carly Rae Jepsen Vault?
I heard they were just rumours. My accent keeps going. It's been a long night.
That's
of course.
Yeah, that's fine. I recognize that as an accent from the future. Like I recognize that as one of our
What kind of accent
accents.
this is?
It's all that town accent.
A classic all that town accent. It's not just rumours.
It's true.
Yes, but look, we don't know how Paul Rudd's got a hold of it. There's a train. It leaves Central Station tomorrow, shortly after noon. We need to get people on that train. We need them to get control of that train, and we need to get them to take the train to a station of our choice. I can't say where right now. It's still sensitive information.
I suppose you have other people for this job as well? Not just my beauty and brains for this.
Well, yes, we have decided to bring a few other people on board for this. Is that going to be a problem for you?
No, I mean, I usually work alone, you see.
Well, just this once, maybe you'll have to make friends and play nice.
Fine. Fine, I'll be there.
You better be. Okay. Go on. This is your stop, right?
Well, I need my Zoom back though.
Gavin!
It's got the
Gavin! And then like there's this really awkward moment like that, and then there's like and then
yeah, and then I'll sort of tootle out again,
Yep.
legs together first, get out.
yeah. I'll get the
The
door.
door, yeah.
I'll get.
Night.
The car just drives off.
Headphones on.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is now the next day. And I haven't forgotten about you, huh?
Oh.
Well, you're the inside man. Like
it's
you,
true.
you
Oh,
work as part of
I had a-
Paul Rudd's entourage.
I had a whole bit.
Okay.
Do it.
Then please take us to your bit.
Oh no, I don't have to do the bit. If you have a bit you'd rather do,
No. If you have
Do
a
the
bit, go for it.
bit. So in terms of how I was originally
Very
recruited.
British.
I'll do it.
Oh. Okay, so how you were originally recruited? Let's hear it.
So got an image that Ankaishi Smith is a man shrouded in mystery. I tell you what,
Can you skip to Chloe's bit?
no. And then just end there. That was the whole bit. That was the whole bit. I like that he has a series of like alter egos, but which are basically just him. They're just, and yet bafflingly, nobody ever picks up that he has these alter egos.
Is it it's the same voice every time? It's literally the name has changed.
Yeah, literally.
That's
So,
the only thing that changes.
so what I'd like to see is you see a big kind of corporate fundraiser, and there's all kinds of people going around, and I'm imagining a kind of Fifth Element like kind of crazy John Paul Gaultier kind of
Nice.
like Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
So for the image of you see a kind of, they're having a big kind of thing, and this kind of old guy gets up and goes, and we would like to thank our revolutionary head of I don't know, business transactions for saving this company, John Thurable. And you see a man with a kind of a very, very almost black, dark purple suit with a kind of almost like a graph paper check on it, but very, very subtle, and a see-through plastic tie. It's the future.
Yeah.
And he's got like shaved side of the head and like ice white frosty hair, and he's got like cyborg ears.
Nice.
Like kind of little like cyborg things there,
I
and he kind of waves to everyone, and they're sort of going on saying, and we would not have been able to do what we did without you. And then we cut later, and you see John Thurable saying, thank you for your kind wishes. I will decline to make a speech on this occasion. And we cut later to the fancy boss man's private room, and we're sitting there, and the boss man's saying, well, John, it's been an amazing time. I can't believe you've done so much with us, but I noticed some inconsistencies in our records to do with where the money's actually being sent to. We're not entirely sure. And all this time, kind of John's in the background, and he goes, and I'll show you. And he leans over his laptop, and then John just appears behind him and says, "It was never John. The order says hello." With one of the wires.
He is dangerous.
And then we just cut out to him walking out downstairs as like the sirens go off, and like the police like arrive and like go in, and outside is there a car waiting?
Yeah, there's a car waiting.
Okay, and he looks at it, and what happens? He's just gonna look at it.
Thing comes down. It's not the woman that we've seen in the previous encounters. What I'd like to know from you before I say who this is you're an inside man. So therefore you either have some kind of relation with the people who have manufactured this train, the people who are operating it with Paul Rudd himself or his associates. Do you have any kind of preference or leaning in terms of how you are an inside man on this job?
So I think that I have been in my various guises working my way up through various of Paul Rudd's megacorps.
Okay.
And seemingly at random, these kind of figures appear, inevitably followed by some kind of strange collapse or death. But nobody's tagged on yet because of the game thing, because it's because it's a movie,
Cool. So you look down, and it's someone who basically it looks like that woman, but different clothing and wearing glasses and a moustache.
Like a
She's on his level. She is on a Kelsey Smith's level.
Okay.
It is a choice.
Is it like a
And
Groucho?
She picks up and goes, get him.
Oh yeah. It's all the things that you need at once, so it can be one
Oh
swift
wow,
move.
nice, yeah.
Truly a superb disguise, ma'am. May I get in? Evidently I'm being recruited.
Why waste any more time? Go on.
Opposite of me.
I'm going to get in.
You get in?
Yeah.
She
I do have a bit
takes
to do at the end.
she takes off the things and goes, I knew you'd see straight through it, but I had to be sure it was you and not someone pretending to be you.
Well, that is an occupational hazard in my line of work, isn't it?
Exactly. But I know now that I'm speaking with a master of disguise.
Truly.
Gavin Flores. And the car starts driving away.
I thought Gavin Floret was one of
No, the previous names include
Derek Drive.
Derek
Drive's
W.
cousin.
Drive.
James Sensor, Edward Triptych, and Arthur Scapula.
They're all written down. They're all written down. I'll get to the point. You're a busy man.
Facts about Dallas.
Nice.
Very expensive too.
That's fine. The mayor has a lot of money.
I was wondering when he'd be getting in touch.
Yes, he's been watching from afar, mainly from his office. He has a good viewpoint of. Anyway, we need you to be at Central Station noon tomorrow under the big clock. We need to make sure that Paul Rudd's train doesn't get where it's going.
You know the usual paying arrangements? Without the stutter.
He's cooler than me.
Yeah, he's cooler than me.
Why don't you take me through it just to make sure? I mean, I've heard rumours about how you're paid, but since you and the mayor have never done business before.
The payments operate through several linked, separate accounts. Contact my man in...
Neo Zurich.
Yeah, contact my man in Neo Zurich.
Okay.
Yes, Mozzo. He'll guide you through it. Here's his card.
Thank you.
It took me a little while to get that, but I'm with it now.
That's a good one.
Presumably we're done here.
Where are you heading?
See where the night takes me.
Can you just be like ejected from the car?
Yeah.
To be honest, it is see where the night takes me and eject to see as this is
Yeah.
like all the things in this car that go
Can it? I would like to see whether I can take it completely within my stride.
Okay, I would like you to roll.
With swords, calm, precise action. Just being like,
Okay,
I understand the mechanics of this.
That's swords. I'm going to say this is something you're normally skilled at, so you can roll 2d6.
Okay.
There will be more dice rolls as we are just about to get to the
Roll
heist.
under. Just under 4, right?
Rolling under. Both on 4!
That means
I'm
you
going to
can
cut to the feeling. I want to know whether this person looks like... Why this person looks like the person I'm interested in. Or looks like...
Looks like the person who was with...
No, as in what you were saying.
Oh,
I got the wrong end of the stick there.
yes, sorry. That was me
it
thinking
was
that I
her end of
might
the
try a
stick.
thing, but actually she just looked like the person there, because it is the same person,
Yeah,
but
but
she just
she
had
hasn't.
a
Yeah.
Groucho
right.
things in to see if
I
he was
want
not a
to-
true master of disguise and could see through her disguise.
Why does Mayor Keanu Reeves want these songs, this vault?
Mayor Keanu Reeves wants these songs genuinely to share freely with the people of all that city, because he is a good mayor, and yes, he is taking underhand action to do this, but he thinks that something like that should be shared and accessible to all the people of this city.
A noble aim.
Luke's up. Can I get a time check for
sorry.
anyone who's wearing a watch?
It's 20 to 9. Time to have a bath.
We're gonna
Shove
go into
to the waters,
first.
Brown.
We'll hit the heist, and then we will have a midway break shortly. But yes,
So can I sort of... I don't think he even does a 3-point landing. I just think he comes up and then he just kind of... almost like there wasn't any impact at all. And he just goes, well, I guess I'll be seeing you, Mr. Rudd. And he presses a button on the side of his ear things, and silver shades go...
The same engine as that.
No,
Some engine in the future,
actually,
everyone really likes
they're
really
like-
slow moving
They're
motors.
like laser shades. They're like...
okay.
Oh, yeah,
It's like a force field.
Yeah.
And you
Nice.
walk off into
And I
the
walk
night.
off into the night. Just please.
Cut to
Yeah, please
Noon.
walk off into the night.
Yeah.
Don't come back, Angus.
the next day,
You're horrid.
noon. Off screen, off camera,
Yeah.
you did have a conversation with Mayor Reeves. There was more of there was probably a little bit more of a tussle, but after briefing you on what this mission actually was, how it wasn't related to Horatio Nelson, things like that,
Carly Rae Jepsen.
he did actually see.
See where I made the mistake, man.
He saw the promise that you had, and he saw this is something where I need to give the new kid a chance. Someone once took a chance on me, a young Keanu Reeves, and now I'm going to take a chance on you, young guy.
Thank you.
So, it's now coming up to noon at Central Station. It is huge, and it's also, it's not even one, set of platforms and stuff. There are multiple sets. There's maybe 3 or 4 that you could catch a train from the centre of all that city. A huge number of trains. You've been told to meet under the big clock, and there is indeed a big, and it's just like a floating digital clock. It's just used with lasers that project into each other at the right point, and so it just looks like they're suspended.
And
in midair.
Kaiji Smith goes beep, zzz, night. Nice.
Who is the first one there?
Definitely not me. I'm probably
Achilles,
late.
I think, because he's keen. He is.
Achilles
he's a
is
big
keen.
shot.
So
Yeah.
you're just waiting around,
Yeah.
kind of keeping a lookout. You know that there are other people. You've been told
Yeah.
there are 3 people you are expecting.
Yeah.
Um,
So they know to go under the clock. And okay, fine. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll under the clock.
Who's second?
I think I'll probably arrive exactly like at the stroke of midday.
Yep.
Because I'm a dog.
Secretly.
Yeah.
Even though
Or like I kind of materialise behind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I turn up, but I've clearly been to Starbucks. So I've got the headphones on, like maybe a beanie cap, and then still wearing the dress.
Yeah.
Like
Nice.
looking around, like, you know, some sort of cappuccino with almond milk, but only 2 bit. You know, it's just a ridiculous amount.
There's definitely like by the
Space
moment there's
books.
2 of you there, it's a bit conspicuous. Like there are other people hanging around.
Is everyone else wearing
But-
normal clothes? And we're like,
Yeah.
Hello.
I am in like full like at turn of the 19th century naval gear as well. Like,
People
I'm wearing a ballroom dress.
Yeah. I
People
have,
do
like,
walk past
yeah.
the lot of you and just like assume like Comic-Con is on this weekend
Yeah.
or something like that. Is basically
I
what
like-
this image looks like.
I'm standing so still, like really brooding that like a couple of people have like thrown coins
Yeah.
at my feet, thinking
Yeah.
I'm like a historically themed human statue.
yeah, nice.
I'm just like
What in the full Nelson?
Nelson.
I'm in,
Yeah.
I'm in, if you would, the Phil Nelson.
Are we
Um,
then? Oh no! Are we then joined
Thank you.
by Flick Ruins finally?
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to be. Can I be like 15 minutes late?
Yeah, sure. You can be 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
15 minutes
Oh,
late.
you've just lost 15 minutes of your mum. That was
Jeez.
great. Just keeping up with the plot threads for you.
Anyway.
I see that. But like, wow.
So
Yeah.
you know that there are meant to be 4 people.
Sorry, can I add something? That I turn up with like my own branded bottle, like water bottle.
Nice.
One of those that's got like a straw in that attached inside, so I
Excellent.
can like.
Oh no, you got a made in Chelsea.
You know there are
Yeah.
4 people who are meant to be coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are only 3 of you so far. Time is beginning to run out. You don't know exactly how long you can wait to be here. Additionally, I'm just going to say that because you have a map of the facility, like this is something that you knew Paul was going to buy this train, and because of your working your way up within his business, that's why you have a map of the train itself.
Can it have been that I chose which train got bought? So it was like I knew I was buying a train and I manipulated it, so I knew the model of train that was going to get bought. Or is that
You
too
you
much?
were like able to kind of swing him one of 2 ways on a couple of choices.
Right, cool.
Yeah, you weren't able to be like just get this
That
one.
train.
Buy
train.
this one. Buy the one with really bad security, Paul. Buy that.
Empty doors.
You do like
It's
you have-
vintage.
you have a
It's a
rough
car.
map of the train,
Cool.
and you will also recognise when it's on the platform which train it is.
Nice, cool.
Are you just going to stay waiting for 15 minutes for someone to turn up?
I will look at my watch a few times.
It's about 5 minutes past. They have those projections where, if you've ever seen it, where it's like a plastic outline of a person and then projects the person into it.
Oh.
And there is one who has just been there, kind of generally giving people directions and helping them out, and then turns and just go. And there's like kind of some weird glitching. Mr. Heartburn.
Yeah.
Mr. Heartburn, the platform that you and your comrades want is platform 13. You must make sure that the train does not reach the city of, what are the Carly Rae Jepsen songs? Does not reach.
It's a very
Where have
difficult.
they gone?
Somewhere we had a
name.
list of Carly Rae Jepsen
Oh,
songs
it's
because I couldn't think of them.
Oh no!
That's alright. You must make sure that the train does not reach the city of Call Me, but instead
Yes, there we go,
successfully
Sorry.
reaches the city of Maybe.
There we go.
We have police and
Safe.
other forces waiting at Maybe. It is absolutely most important that you board the train, find the vault, and take control of the train to steer it to its destination. Any questions, Mr. Heartburn?
Captain's orders. I remember I don't have this arm, and I go.
You just touched your hat slightly.
Good luck with your job.
I
And
would,
then it like glitches out.
I would wink, but again, I only have one eye.
blinking.
Just looks like blinking,
Yeah.
Okay, you are both present, and there you're the only other people who were close enough to potentially like see or maybe hear a little bit of what was going on. But it's now coming up to 10 minutes past, and you've had some explicit instructions. And there's only 3 of the 4.
What time is the train leaving?
leaving? Yeah.
Yeah.
The train, you can see that the train on platform 13 leaves at 17 minutes past.
Well, do any of you have her number?
Who are we waiting for?
Well, presumably one of you would have been told.
No, I just got told to come here.
What is a number? I know only the means of semaphore.
God! Do you know
What
him?
am I doing, man? Numbers would have existed then. That's stupid. What is a number? What would I? Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry, man.
rather
This is my
than-
first,
rather
this is my
than-
first gig. I'm really. Hi,
rather
I'm
than
a-
waiting
it's
for
this
the
arm.
rather than waiting for the amateur dramatics to finish.
Nice.
Yes, you
Ah,
were
yes.
all given. I'm going to
Okay.
say
Oh,
also
in the
you
car
were
and
all
stuff, yeah.
given in the car.
Individual number 4, I believe you're our fixer.
Oh, yeah, I'm on my way.
The train leaves in a matter of minutes. If you're not here within 5, we're going to be leaving without you.
Okay, look, I'm coming, but this is why Okay.
Does she have our tickets?
We have tickets.
Does she have a ticket?
You don't have tickets.
Nobody-
It's a private train.
No, but yeah, no one told me anything.
Oh.
There's things that I'm happy to fill in as like.
Okay,
general
I was
knowledge.
just like,
It's a private train. It is Paul Rudd's own personal train. Like it says
His
that.
face like Thomas the
Yeah.
Tank Engine at the front.
It says private train P Rudd platform 13.
Yeah.
As a young boy, Horatio got his first taste of the sea by stowing away on a Royal Navy vessel. I believe I can lead us to do the same thing.
I don't fully understand the bit you're doing.
Horatio Nelson, man.
It's a strong disguise, I'll give you that.
I mean, imagine I'm Carly Rae Jepsen and how appropriate all of this would be. I didn't have the time to redo it. It was like 5 hours ago I was told that this was not going to work. So, just go
And
with
at
it.
that point, Flick arrives.
Come on,
You've
man.
got
done this
2
more than
minutes
me.
to catch this train.
You know. All right. I'm
Well,
here.
time to go then. It just starts
Follow the.
walking.
I don't want to say it, but the
Just
this
starts
guy.
walking.
Time's a factor.
Is everyone
Come
walking?
on, come on.
no, I'd probably if you're running, I'd probably try and.
Oh, I'm
hitch
not
up my
running,
skirts.
I'm just walking very quickly.
Oh, I hitch up my skirts and sort of.
Yeah, I like do a couple of like leap, one-handed cartwheel, leap, like round off
Yeah.
and get to the platform before them. Just like
I'm walking and whistling
You're-
the sailor's hornpipe.
You're at the platform.
It feels like I'm going faster.
You're at the platform. There is 1 minute to go, but there are security guards by the nearest door. It seems that as it is a private train, there are people there to make sure only Mr. Rudd's personal entourage, only his guests, only those with clearance can get on
Okay,
this
then.
train. How would you like to proceed?
If it's okay, I'd like to walk up to it and say, hello, sorry we're a little bit late, but we're running a little bit behind. I'm Richard Crozier.
Crozier.
Mm.
Right, Richard.
I'd like this to be one of my
Richard.
alter egos.
Okay, could you please roll? I'm going to say that this is more emotions because it's more like performative, it's more deception, convincing.
Let's roll under.
This is something that, if it's one of your alter egos, you have prepared for this, and you're skilled at this.
Great. And
So
this
I'm
is
gonna,
roll
I'm
under,
gonna
right?
I'm going to allow.
Is this roll under?
Emotions is
It's,
yes to
roll
roll.
over for emotions.
Oh, roll over. Ooh.
Is
It's
it
an
roll?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
you want to
roll
roll
over, yeah.
over your number of 4.
It's
Oh,
a 5!
there's a partial success.
A partial
Five in
success.
there.
There's a 5 in there. We're gonna be in normal class rather than first class. It's gonna be very cramped.
Oh,
Paul Rudd knows a lot of
Richard
people.
Crozier. Richard Crozier. Oh! Alright, I can see you here. Right, are these...
They're guests.
Right. We didn't know that you'd have any gifts with you, Mr. Crozier.
Well, it was included on my ticket, so I thought, why not, when in Rome?
Right. Sure. Well, I mean,
Always
we've
preferred
only given
Naples.
you the one private cabin, but, Amy will take you to it, okay?
I'm sure they'll manage.
Right. And the drawback of this, because
Oh.
of that role, is that basically Amy, who is one of the security guards, gets you onto the train, leads you, you can feel that you're going towards the rear of the train, so you're still in that rear carriage, and leads you to a private cabin, opens the door, and it is basically one of those ones that you get on a sleeper train. It's not made for 4 people, but basically funnels the four of you into the back of this
We're all
train.
sort of stood. Like,
Yeah.
broom closet.
Sorry, Mr. Crazy. We sorry, but we'll leave you in the.
You will be hearing from my lawyers.
Your lawyers, you're another one of your alter ego.
Yeah, it's just
On
me.
your own.
I've never seen the same
Give me
room.
1 second.
Yeah, there's no
Glasses.
difference.
But we'll deal with that later. Sorry, I think we're just about to leave off. Okay.
Very well. Amy, was it?
Yes.
Good.
Mr. Crazy, and walks back to the door, and you can hear now kind of the thunk of doors closing, stuff like that. Some things potentially that might sound like doors being locked and such like, but you're in a very small, like, you can't, maybe 2 people can sit down and 2 people can stand, but it's incredibly cramped
Everyone
in
sort
here.
of faces together.
And there is a tiny window. It's only a very small window, and you can see that everything starts to move by as slowly the train leaves the station.
Well, we got on the train.
How am I supposed to stretch here?
I can always go in the corridor.
Fine.
I hope none of you mind if I vape.
Okay. So you start just filling it.
Like from a pipe.
What's the plan, guys?
No, like a vape.
Oh gosh. I hate
So what?
it so much.
We've got clearly an inside man. We've got, like, you look like flexible. And what do you do?
I'm the fixer.
Okay, well, fix us a way out of here.
Okay. Less of that attitude.
While
please.
you're having a problem with that, I'm going to ask what you do.
I do computers and shit.
Good.
I also put down a really sick beat, and I'll bring out a flyer, and this is like DJ Alice.
Would clash with the costume, but thank you. Yeah.
I'll keep it for you.
Yeah.
Presumably, as our computers expert, you'll be the one who'll know how to operate this. And I give you a small, small vape. I give you a small cube about the size of a D6.
Uh-huh.
And I hand it over, and I click it, and a 3D map of the train goes. Zoom.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's cool. That's actually.
I'm gonna very quickly draw a map of this train.
Yeah.
Spins
Whilst
round.
you are all.
Hello, Mr. Crozier.
So are we doing code names or real names or what?
And Kaishi Smith.
Casey Smith.
And Kaishi Smith.
Yeah, okay, but like Casey Smith, I get it. Like you're saying but like Casey Smith, yeah?
What was your name?
Flick. With a Y.
So Flyke.
Flick.
Flick.
Yeah, flick. Like, and I flick Fancy Alice in the cheek to go
Stop
flick.
it.
Well, I can see that you're a delightful personality. Who are you?
Thanks.
They call me Fancy Alice, DJ. DJ Fancy Alice. You may have heard of.
Is that like a PhD?
I've heard of it.
Sure. Yeah, you know. Well, yes,
Yeah.
you saw my flowers.
Yeah.
And you are?
The map.
I smacked you in the hand.
Yes, smash that.
Map goes
Oh
out the window.
My
That's
name's
it.
my name's Achilles, but call me Nelson for this. It'll help me with the.
I like you.
Thank you.
So
Is that bubblegum?
this is apologies for real poor writing and
wow.
bad penmanship.
Trains.
This is a
Rudd's
super-
Gardens?
A super. A super one moment because now you've said that's a thing. Super basic map. Basically, there are 4 main carriages, but some of them are double decker because future trains. I mean, it's a
Or
thing that
if
trains
we were
today
in
have,
Germany.
but
Yeah.
also just super cool. You are in the rearmost, which is just a series of cabins, seemingly for his entourage, for his personal guests and such like. The next carriage along is social quarters, presumably for everyone to have a nice time whilst they can socialise, whilst they can spend time together during the long haul trip to Call Me. So we've got some stuff going on in the background that will disappear in a moment. Then the one in front seems to be some kind of secure vault. It seems that there are a lot of doors, there are a lot of locks, there are a lot of security systems, lasers, etc. in that next one. And past that is the kind of driving carriage. I'm sure there's a name for that, but I can't think of anything other than cockpit, and that's not trains.
Engine.
Cab.
Love you,
The
Dad.
cab right.
I
Then
like trains.
over the middle two carriages, At the front, you have Paul Rudd's personal quarters.
Oh,
There is an
quarters.
entire carriage that is just for that. Then there is the security systems, which presumably is CCTV and such like, controls of locks, things like that, override systems in the carriage over the third carriage. And actually, just above you now, you can see Rudd's Gardens. Presumably is like a kind of rooftop area on this train where Paul Rudd can unwind and just sit.
While travelling at hundreds of kilometres an hour.
Does it have like a glass roof?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It's more.
And it's all the plants are getting constantly
It's more like
ripped.
Rudd's Conservatory.
Right.
But it's,
Paul Rudd's
Justin
Gardens.
said it and I wanted it in.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of image that springs up just out of this.
If we kill Paul Rudd, it has to be in the gardens.
So you can see that there are a few options in terms of also what this system shows you is where there are small hatches, where there are things other than doors that enable you to actually move around the train potentially in more advantageous ways. You can see some vents, you can see hatches, you can see doors.
Chloe, this is that game. What is the role of the fixer? I forgot. What is that? What does that mean again?
A fixer is kind of like, in my understanding, is kind of like a con artist, and is also someone who like matches people up with the skills that other jobs need, and they basically, it's just like they make things happen, which is like a really loose terminology for it.
Cool.
But I'm happy for you to kind of play it however you would like, or having fun playing this character.
Okay.
But normally I would think of them as a con artist, and someone who basically goes, oh, you need this, I know where we can get this or who we can contact to get this.
Okay.
You still have means of contacting people who are on the train, who are off the train, etc. Like if you needed to contact someone who knew how to drive a train, you would be able to like contact them so that they could like holographically project into the cab to show you how to do it, or that kind of thing.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
They FaceTime you in.
Yeah.
You can kind of just like meta things into the game if you want to,
Nice.
as the
Sweet.
fixer. I'm going to
That's
say,
not good, actually.
Okay.
obviously with the right roles.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do?
So I've stepped out into the corridor. Can I step out into the corridor?
You can open the door.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can
so
open the door. It's not locked. The corridor is relatively thin, and you can see that there are about 5 different little rooms in this particular carriage.
What?
There are
Like,
5. There are 5
on
cabins.
either
There are
side.
doors. There's
Yeah.
the
Compart-
corridor is just on one
compartments,
edge
yeah.
of the train,
Okay.
Trains.
and you can see 5 doors, including yours, to different cabins.
Okay. So as I'm in the corridor, I just kind of like, I don't know how many dancers you know, but like, you know when dancers will just kind of go, and they'll just kind of like step into splits, but really obnoxiously and that kind of thing. Of like,
Yeah.
so I kind of like step into splits, and as I'm down there, I get my phone out and send a voice message to my agent, because my agent must know everything.
Yeah.
Saying, I got to the place, I was mostly on time, I'm on the train, call me if anything comes up, but you know, the signal might be bad, because trains, even though, like, you don't.
I did. You know that you're in the future.
Very self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll call you, bye.
Cool.
It's time
So,
to play this opportunity.
You've had a little call with your agent. What all of you get in your ears is 30 minutes to diversion of train.
Okay, so we need to get this train going somewhere else.
Yeah. Basically, there is 30 minutes until you get to the point in the tracks where it can keep
The
going
points.
to call me, or it can turn off to maybe.
We're gonna need people on the ground to like change the points, right? And therefore physically do that.
I can't hear you guys. You need to open the door.
Would it be better if we talk through these?
Then we can we're gonna need people to physically change the points, but also create a situation where nobody's gonna find it suspicious, or it doesn't matter anymore if they do find it suspicious here on the train, when the train obviously goes somewhere completely different to where it was gonna be.
I mean, that's fairly obvious, sweetie. You're new to this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Okay, what's your plan?
Divert the train.
Yeah, that's what I said. But go on.
Oh, yeah, that's all we need, right?
Is there a way we could make some kind of distraction?
Oh yeah, I'm really distracting. My coach tells me all the time.
I've got an idea.
So I like do a kind of like walkover out of my splits, flip out of it, come back into the cabin, but like pull a leg up and just stand in the doorway with my foot holding the door open, just kind of like
Nice.
Go on.
I must say, I did you a disservice earlier. I recognise both of you. Famed performers both. Perhaps we could arrange some kind of soiree for Paul Rudd. Make it look like some kind of surprise party.
With a historical theme. Trafalgar themed.
Sure, why not?
I can get us costumes.
I can get us the music.
I can get us a really big column.
A really big what? A really big column. It's a Nelson.
I just didn't think
I got excited. I can't actually get us a really big column.
So long as we can have some kind of suitable distraction, but we'll need you to change the points. Or maybe you're a hacker.
Sure.
I don't know, any of you.
I think I can do that, but what? So where would?
Surely, because it's the future, we can do that remotely without actually being literally on the ground.
And I pull out at that point my Nintendo Switch, which has been modified.
Yeah!
And I'm like,
Is this
Nintendo
your like?
Switch!
Is this your hacking item?
no,
I
it's
just
not. It's
wanna
just a
check.
it's just a general.
You just have a Nintendo
Sorry, I haven't played Neopets in a while. I'm just gonna...
It's like, don't worry, I'll have a plan, and I'll just start.
Oh, so you're going to start tinkering?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, whilst this isn't risky, it's a difficult thing to do, so I'm going to say I would like you to roll swords.
Yep.
Are you tinkering with this to make it able to remotely kind of change the direction or like change
No,
the points?
it's more, I think, I guess it is hacking, isn't it? Well, I'll sort of ask, I can change, like, security, like, cameras so we can get to a place. If I help, but I've only got limited batteries on 10%. Sorry, I was playing Breath of the Wild Space Edition before we came on this train.
Space Edition.
Sorry.
A strong choice. Well, perhaps if you can manage a way to scramble their sensors so that they don't know we've changed the points.
Yeah, I can do that. No problem.
I can physically do stuff as well. I've got a lockpick thing here. It's a little old-fashioned. I had it remade in brass, and it's actually got.
Well, young man, maybe you can get us into the vault.
Sure. Whatever.
So, can I just recap
Okay.
exactly what your plan is currently?
So I'm going to try and use my super hacked Nintendo Switch to mess with their sensors, so they can't. They think something. I guess they think everything's still working. It's sort of on a loop. So,
Okay, I see.
yeah.
You want to do that for
Yeah,
the
I'll do
security systems?
Yes, I'll do that for the security system, so it looks like it's on a loop. Yeah.
Okay, I would like you to roll swords
Mhm.
to see if you can hack the security systems that are currently above you and put all those images on a loop.
Yep. So that's one. Am I prepared? Would you say? If I'm using my Nintendo Switch.
I would say that you are skilled. You're not necessarily prepared because you
Okay.
didn't know until just
Yeah, I'm an
now what the
expert.
systems were on this ship. So
Okay.
you can roll 2.
Yeah.
And as it is swords, you are rolling under your number.
Which is good because that's a 5. Ooh,
Oh, partial fail.
Shit.
almost bad. Yeah. So,
Partial fail.
You explode.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what this is, even though your characters in real life
Yeah.
wouldn't know. You do manage to set everything on a loop.
Yeah.
You basically, you do some incredibly impressive stuff, just like, and then you like open up the front of the Switch and then like tinker with it a little bit and send this little electromagnetic pulse or type thing to especially the space above you, because you know that you are directly below the security system.
Oh.
And you do set everything on a loop.
Good.
The images are on a loop. They can only hear that. However, the only sound they can hear is, then maybe you can get us in the vault. Then maybe you can get us
Oh
Maybe you can
no!
get us
I
in
love
the
it.
vault.
I love it.
I thought you were going to say that the only sound you can hear is I'm going to loop the system.
Yes.
That
No,
was
I like the
really
vault.
good.
I like the vault.
But
I like
yes,
the vault.
Oh,
you don't know
No.
that that's
right.
happened currently.
Oh
shit.
No.
And
You
I-
just know.
You're now on high alert.
And I just go,
Or just-
and we're in. Done. Easy.
Okay.
Just
Yep. Don't need to check that.
we-
And then,
blows a bubble. Just
great.
So we
And
can
then
move. So we can like move with what impunity around here. No one's gonna.
no one's going to question it. They won't see it.
25 minutes to
Okay,
diversion.
Move with
points.
me and I'll get you through any problems. I'm your inside man.
One.
For now, you can call me Richard Crozier.
Okay, Rich.
Okay.
And you can call me Admiral.
I thought you wanted to be called Nelson.
Admirals is okay.
We've got 25 minutes.
This costs so much.
I don't know if you heard the lady
This
in
is
our
a rap
ears.
maker.
Like,
Let's go. We need to get further down the train. We need to get.
Have you? So you've got the door open because you were in the corridor, right?
Yeah, like my foot is still.
yeah,
Okay.
it's blocking the way.
We need to find a way to get to those points that we need to change.
I've just sent a text. It's done that like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A message leaving. Yeah. Costumes are on their way. They'll be here in 5 minutes.
Great.
Costumes.
Can you get them to deliver us to this? Didn't do that. Didn't do that.
He's cooler than me.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've had a lot of Lemsip.
Richard Crozier.
Richard's
Can you
Can you?
get them to deliver them to us on the way?
They should. Yeah. Okay. We'll be specific. Okay. Fine.
Everything's delivered by drone these days, isn't it?
I look out the small
It's
window.
going to literally be a drone
A
with
small-
the
nice.
small
small
window.
window.
Attached.
Yeah.
But as
Hanging from a
you
rack.
send that off, and people
Yeah.
start. You can hear like a little bit more movement around the train now that you seem to have fully pulled out of all that city. You can see that the suburbs have gone by, and you're now just kind of in. It's essentially it's future rural, so it's very barren. There's like one
nice.
metal tree,
Ooh.
that kind of.
Yeah.
One metal tree.
One metal
Is it the kind of thing where it's just like fields and fields and fields, and on the horizon there's just like a single massive tower block kind of thing?
That kind of thing, yes. And as there's a bit more movement, you probably notice first that a door down the little set of cabins opens up, and this very, very beautifully put together woman comes out. And like furs and all this kind of stuff, and like long fancy evening gown, etc. And just tries to kind of bat her way past you. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
Do I know her?
She is just about to turn, notice you, and go, Crozier.
Ooh.
What the fuck are you doing here, you bastard?
Don't worry, I get this a lot. Just because somebody does things that you don't like, my love, doesn't mean that Paul Rudd's going to disagree with them.
So wait, you're here. You're one of Paul's guests.
Of course I am. How else do you think I got on the train?
Like, would you like to come up with the backstory for this woman and Tracy, or I will outlay it.
You can come up with it if you like.
She was double crossed by you on a heist before.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Right.
And she is, and like you know what she's doing. She is
Yeah.
reaching for a gun that is in her garter.
And I'm just going to reach forward, and my stun
punch.
gun is a ring.
Yeah.
It's just a small signet
Roll.
ring.
Nice. Yes.
Which will go-
Roll.
Yes, roll
Is
it.
this swords?
Is this, well, it can be,
Oh.
it depends how you're doing it. I'm guessing that because of who you are, it is kind of cool, calm, just
Yeah.
like, then it's swords. Swords.
Swords.
Swords, so
swords.
please
Is it-
roll under your number.
Is that going to be on a 1?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think because I've double crossed her before.
I'm going to say that you can roll 2 dice.
2 dice.
2 dice.
And I need to roll under. Yes.
For
You need to
swords.
roll under for swords
Yeah.
because it's just calmly like punching through.
Is it under 4? Okay.
Got to be 4 or under.
Yes!
Oh!
Got to the feeling!
No, it's I read it wrong. It's in here.
I'm wrong.
No, you're fine.
Sorry,
Swords
swords
under
you roll under your number.
Yeah, because I'm slightly better
right.
at
Yeah, so
swords.
there it is, yeah.
Under, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, the
yeah.
arrows are telling you which
Yeah,
is
it's my
better.
wrong.
or
I
not.
wrote it
Cool.
down instead, yeah.
So you got a 2 and a 4, so you succeed.
Yeah. So I think I go, what a shame.
And like the body just crumples to the floor.
Old associate. And I would like to ask you, so where is the vault being kept?
The vault is
Vault
in
was on
the
the map.
vault
The
section
vault
of the
is
map.
in the vault.
It's not a
Yes.
double cross.
Okay.
It's not, that one's not a trick.
And do I know exactly where within the vault? Oh, where exactly,
Where exactly
within
in
the
the
vault
carriage?
carriage is the vault being stored?
In the vault carriage, the vault is being stored.
And the vault
There
house
is
a vault
basically, the vault contains a series of Carly Rae Jepsen's costumes from previous tours on mannequins.
Amazing.
The vault
Frightening.
is contained or concealed on one of the mannequins.
Great.
That's what you get.
Okay.
I know you've cut to the feeling, but there's I can give you that.
Okay.
It's on the mannequin with. This is where I expose the fact that I don't know Carly Rae Jepsen's tour costumes. But there's a beautiful blue dress on one of them.
It's one of our later phases.
Yeah.
2025.
One of the future ones that we don't know about.
2025.
The one with neo lights on it.
Yeah.
Clean storytelling.
So that's well, you know, and
A beautiful blue dress.
Yes, the woman has crumpled. Titania has crumpled to the floor
Tatiana.
in front of you. A little bit in your way. Yes.
Can I say that when I double crossed her, is she a fellow criminal or is she?
She's a fellow criminal.
A fellow criminal.
Yes.
Ah, right. Okay then. Cool.
So, what are you going to do now?
What am I going to do?
You've got maybe 22 minutes.
Well, wait, if she's an old associate, is there any more people on this train?
Quite possibly. I tend to leave a bit of a trail. Don't worry, we'll be all right.
No, but trying to get the vault as well.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Cool.
How are we getting on with getting these points changed?
And I'm going to try and hide her in my carriage.
Battery dead.
Okay, you're gonna. I'm fine with that. You're gonna pull her in or just like lay her
Into the
down.
private. I'm going to put her on the bed and sort of arrange her so it looks like she's had too much to drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Couldn't make myself. There we
Ah!
go. Yeah. Sorry.
Method.
You
I tip my
arrange
hat as
her.
I go over.
My lady.
You
It's an
can now
unironic
hear
milady.
it's very, very low,
Yeah.
but unbeknownst to you, it's because of the. And you can get us in the vault, you can get us in the vault, you can get us in the vault being looped. You can hear a low level alarm. It's like when someone pulls the alarm on a train and you can hear in the cab that it's going off.
That's weird ambient music.
That's not ambient music.
It's obviously an alarm.
Ah.
One of you must have set it off, wasn't me?
Right, let's look at this map.
Well,
Okay, what are you trying to get from the map?
Yeah.
I need to know what you're rolling for.
Oh, okay. To be honest, my bearings. I've forgotten sort of how far we are from the vault. I'm concerned that there now might be other people going for the vault, and the main thing is we don't have any way to deal with these points.
Okay,
Right, yeah.
so this is
So
just to kind
what
of get
did
your
you
bearings. Where do you need to go?
Information,
what do you need
please.
To...
Is my thing. It's just genuinely that I keep starting to panic a bit. New kid.
New
Yay.
kid. So I'm getting this
What are you
sword
going to say? Sis?
because
Fine. I have gone
it's-
obviously higher than my number.
Yeah, as I say,
so,
swords
yeah.
is at roll under, so.
So I have not
Failed.
done it. I've just failed.
you need to go up. You need to go up. You need to go up. You need to go up.
Oh,
There's a hatch. It shows there's a hatch.
Yeah.
There's a hatch,
Yeah.
and that hatch takes you up.
to the rigging.
You can I'll
That's
allow
what you
that you
think,
can
food boy.
open this up.
What?
I'll allow that you can open. You
Yeah,
can,
and I
like, you
can
can just
open
climb.
Oh no, it was the crab box.
There's crabs everywhere.
Yeah, it's a torrent of crabs.
Right
Right.
to the height.
Sorry.
You climb up.
Yeah.
You open this up. Are you gonna just keep climbing?
Yeah. What do I?
I want to go up to the gardens
Yeah.
and like be the distraction.
Okay.
Right.
Unfortunately, someone's got to the gardens first
Oh.
because Horatio Nelson
Yes.
climbs out.
Yeah.
Opens up this hatch. You see bright, almost blinding light through the glass. And as you climb up, there's grass underneath your hands. And in a deck chair is Paul Rudd staring right at you. And that's where we're going to pause.
Yes, very
Don't worry, I've got a
nice.
plan.
Waiting for a thing to pause on. We will
you.
be back in like 5 minutes. We're just going to change the battery in the camera, lots of boring stuff and all that kind of thing. And then we will be back to actually figure out
This heist.
how we deal with Paul Rudd and his stash of Carly Rae Jepsen tracks, and whether we get to maybe or whether we go to Call Me. Who knows? Okay, we will be back in 5 minutes.
Don't go anywhere.
What